arrive at my doorstep of your own volition. Excellent. Taking revenge for sealing me away will be all the easier.
So, the little girl is your power incarnate. But if you recall, Azhdaha, this is not how we intended for events to transpire.
Waste not your words. Your life is mine.
Stabilize! Gather!
Crumble!
Gather!
Shifting sands will not the mountains There is no atonement for Is once not enough? You would forsake me again?
If that is what you choose to believe, so be it. He who bears the weight of memory is destined to shoulder the burden of truth, as it ought to be.
The wind knows me.
I will have order.
Into the wind.
Quake!
No atonement for 1,000 years of
Solidify!
Morax! You think you can destroy me?
Time to go.
Come! Experience an eon of suffering!
I must leave no stone unturned.
There is no atonement for 1,000 years of pain!
Gather!
The wind knows me.
Stabilize!
Steady as stone.
Into the wind.
Gather!
The enraged earth will not absolve you!
Solidify! Order guide you!
Morax, 1,000 years after you sealed me underground.
You should call it by...
Fate? Fate? So here...
No. You...
That voice?
Azhdaha.
Huh?
Morax. Azhdaha.
During the battle,
Yes, it was all I could manage. Forgive me for concealing the truth, traveler. There were things that only became clear to me upon reaching this tree. Allow me to elaborate. I am not Azhdaha the whole, but a fragment. Heaven and earth.
No!
When the seal... That's...
The audacity!
I was barely...
I had sensed that something was amiss when you mentioned dragon.
Don't blame your... It's...
There would be no...
Azhdaha. The memories of rocks do not... Erosion. Azhdaha.
What would...
This much is true. In the beginning, erosion. Morak. And so, we... became you. And from your will... I am...
No!
I am...
No!
Morax.
A lord!
You forgot that which all powers under heaven rise and...
A star appears within the wild.
You are in the wilderness.
No!
Perhaps it is...
More axe!
The little girl vanished.
Are you satisfied?
I had to make amends. Satisfaction had no part in it. So, Morax, you call yourself Zhongli these days?
I do.
Well, I'm afraid old habits die hard. To me, you're Morax.
As you please.
I never did.
I hardly lift.
And yet,
Your power is... Shall we get going?
surely the...
Indeed. Hence the need to...
Huh? How did we get here? We need to go back and check on the miners.
So there you are. My men and I found your clues and followed them straight here. We found Mao in a tent at the Huh?
Nothing. Pay it no mind. Those three miners are over there.
Cave?
They're exhausted, but not in
Right. Well,
So you're taking...
that's right.
Can I come with you?
No problem. You rescued my...
Kunjun, we should be calling you Azhdaha. You're coming back to Liyue Harbor too, right?
Not I. Merely this body. Once I'm gone, the true owner will accompany the miners back to Liyue. Kunjun hails from a family of famous artisans. He too will be famous in time. It would be a shame for someone of his talent to go missing.
You always did have a great admiration for blacksmiths.
Curious how swords and daggers are...
Azhdaha.
I can sense it.
Today I am just an ordinary citizen of Liyue.
Even you met such a fate. Let's get the difficult part out of the way.
No matter. If that day comes to pass, Liyue...
And how will Liyue fare without...
Even without a god above, this remains a nation of men.
all life? That's on... You may live forever.
I do not pretend.
Were it not so,
You've brought us
that day in the chasm,
a heart of stone.
you chose just...
The movements of...
Hence, do not forget that old friend.
Thank you, Ace.
My life,
You're leaving?
if it is fated, Morax, we will meet again.
Yes.
Wow.
In fact, he was. Century.
In our last tale, Rex Lapis was walking alone in the mountains. He heard a remote voice, unlike any other, coming from a crack in the earth.
Most of the ancient geo life forms that live below Liyue are blind, having not seen the sunlight for an age.
The voice was sometimes sad and song-like. Other times it was loud and thunderous. The Lord of Geo searched here and there before finally unearthing a strange stone from the bedrock.
That's how Azhdaha was. I answered his wish and took him above ground.
The Lord of Geo took pity on the rock spirit and carved it into a magnificent work of craftsmanship, a vivid representation of a dragon.
I bestowed him with a pair of eyes to see the world and came to an agreement with him.
With his fingers, he made 2 eyes. Quicker than words could tell, lightning flashed and thunder roared, and a living, breathing dragon soared into the clouds.
I agreed to let him live among the people above ground. But if the day ever came when he brought ruin to order, he would once again be sealed in the dark.
The dragon accompanied the Lord of Geo, fighting campaigns alongside him in the 4 corners of the world. We have a saying to eulogize these events. The crash of a spear brought billowing dust. The mountains and waters made way at the sound. The sight of a dragon bestowed with a touch the promise of rainwater blessing the ground.
A 1,000 years ago, Azhdaha attacked the chasm. I tried to obstruct him, fighting him tooth and nail down the length and breadth of the mine. Finally, during that battle, Dragonfall was born. Despite being, he was willing to be sealed away. Even I can't. The greater the power, the great personally people abandoned, but I was a...
You still can't.
Call it, I must thank...
No worries.
Oh? About what?
Oh, yeah. So, not long ago, he told us about Conria and the punishment of the gods. That's when we realized that those events were connected. Zhongli, you're a god. You've lived through thousands of years of history. Why? You can't even give us a...
I understand. But I must apologize. This is my contract.
You mean another past grievance? Like the incident with Azhdaha? Too painful to talk about?
It was signed before it all began. I have always honored the... You two are friends to me. I can assure it brings me no pleasure to disappoint you. But as the god of contracts, I cannot...
Would you be ready to find out?
It appears you're... There are many... They have been eroded, but you are capable. Those who come... If you take the... This tablet was a... It's a shame. There is a fine line.